Okay guys, welcome back. I always want to do a quick video on something that I'm going to be starting probably in the next couple weeks. Another YouTube user, Big Pete, I believe it's 405, last year or the year before, built a mini Mortal Kombat cabinet. And he ended up selling it to Mysterio Zone, who did my computer and has helped me with some other stuff computer related. So it was something I wanted to do before he actually made, and really just frankly didn't have the time to get all the wood and supplies and everything done. So I did a little homework online, and there's a place called Main Room Designs, and they make a Bartop kit that looks similar to a Mortal Kombat cabinet. There's two different ones. There's one that looks very similar to an MK cabinet, and there's one that looks a little bit different. So what I did is I ordered it up and decided that I was going to go with the one that's not identical to an MK cabinet for two reasons. First off, I wanted to see the quality of the design and a little bit extra what you get for as far as your money goes. And secondly, he pre-cuts all the plexiglass and a screen protector for the marquee and the screen. So here's a little bit of the cabinet. You can kind of see I've just kind of pieced it together. It's pretty cool. I mean, the size of it is pretty neat. You know, compared to a full-size one, you know, there's a full-size cabinet just from the control panel up. I mean, it's huge compared to this little miniature one here. So what I did is I found this on the BYOAC website. Another user made this template, and what it is I don't know if you guys can make it out, but it's an MK3 control panel that he added another block button here, and obviously it has the ROM, but he just kind of photoshopped it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a one-player control panel, and what I'm going to do is cut this in half, so you'd only see from here over actually on the control panel, and here's a control panel piece here. But what I hired somebody on that site actually to Photoshop me is move this dragon over, move the midway over center, move the MK3 insignia over, so all you see is this, but all the art and everything has been moved over properly. And once I get it all printed up and everything, the way this looks is this kind of sits on here. See if I can do it with one hand. Not so well, but I think you get the general idea. It sits in this little groove like this. So obviously I ordered this undrilled, and the reason I ordered undrilled is because I wanted to put my own buttons and joysticks, and the way he has it on his site is for a trackball. I don't know if you can see it on here. That's his design right there. You could order it pretty much any way you want, but I wanted to order up the art first, then place the art on here properly, and then drill the holes myself. So here's the rest of the pieces. You can kind of see they're all pre-cut and everything, and they're labeled with these little letters on them so you can, you know, establish what's in what. His assembly instructions for this is the Bartop number 2, is actually Bartop number 1. He kind of confused me a little bit when it came today because I wanted to piece it together a little bit, but you can see this is the number 1. It looks really similar to an MK cabinet. And number 2 from the side doesn't look as much like an MK cabinet, but the design of it was a little nicer, I thought, and it comes with a couple extra pieces. For example, like I said, he pre-cuts the marquee out. Here's the marquee plexiglass here, and here's the marquee, or I'm sorry, the plexiglass that goes over the screen. He also sends you the marquee retainers. I don't know if you can see these here. These are the pieces that go over the top like this. Jesus, everything's falling. This goes over the top like this and holds the marquee in there. I'm sorry, it actually goes like this. So you can see how clean it makes it look. I'm not sure what this extra one is here for. I'm going to have to look in his instructions, but he sent 2. But there's the first one installed, and this kit was like about $40 or $50 more, but it comes with a lot of extra pieces and parts that I wanted to do. I'm also putting an LCD in here, opposed to this one here is geared towards a CRT or a television. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to put a 19-inch LCD in here and try that out because I really thought this one looked phenomenal once you put all the games on it and start playing things, and it gives you the option to do other things. So, make a long story short, this is going to be a project I'm probably going to start. Well, I obviously started it today, but I'm going to finish it in a couple weeks. But I need to get this cabinet out of here so I can put the one that's outside in this spot and just kind of clean up in here and just make sure I got enough room. But I'm not going to go any further today because I need to get the art that I ordered sized up properly, and then here. And then I'm also going to do full-size side art on both sides. And then I'm contemplating doing a front panel, you know, the front panel piece that goes here, but I'm probably going to need to drill some buttons in that, or on the side to, you know, escape, home, enter, something like that. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. I haven't ordered the front piece yet, but I might have to do that. I already ordered up the marquee from this gentleman as well on the BYOC website, so hopefully his work will be good, and you guys could maybe copy this design or whatever you want to do with it. But another nice thing about this is he routed out all the T-molding. As you can see, it's all routed out for 3/4 inch smooth T-molding, as well as on the front of the control panel right there. So I was going to try to build one of these myself, but for the amount of time and effort it takes to do this, and after watching Big Pete's video on how he did it, it's really a pain in the ass. I mean, I built my own MK1 control panel and routed out, you know, where the T-molding goes in, and cut it and trimmed it and all that stuff. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. Unless you really love woodworking, which I really don't, it's not something that's really for the faint of heart. So I decided I'm going to order this, you know, for two reasons. First, it's a hell of a lot easier than cutting your own stuff. And then secondly, kind of test the design out and see if anybody else that was interested in buying it, you know, here's a video on it. And that way you can see the quality of it, if it sucks, if it's good, you know, if it comes together easily. So far, so good. The only complaint I have about this is that it uses these cams and bolts. You know, when you go to like Target or Walmart or whatever, and you buy like a desk or a table or something, and they use these things that already have pre-drilled holes, and you push or you hammer in these little cam bolts, and then, you know, they have these things here, the bolts. So what you do is you insert the bolt, you know, in the cabinet like so. Let me get my arm out of the way there, and then you turn this and it locks it in place. So the only problem with this stuff is, I don't know if you can make it out, but on one of the pieces you can see I hit it in, and it already cracked on a couple of the spots here on both sides. And it's not a big deal, and the wood's not coming apart, it's not going to break, but you know, that's the only thing about these kits, is that, you know, they're made with particle board, and particle board, you know, ultimately is just sawdust glued together. So the quality of the wood is subpar, but the design and cut of the kit is high quality. So, you know, you give some and you take some, but for the amount of time and effort and woodworking that you're going to save just by doing this kit, it's well worth it to me. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a series of videos on this, but like I said, this is what the panel is going to look like minus this. And I'm trying to decide how much room I need on this panel, really. You know, joystick here, player 1 start, run, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons, because I am going to have a computer in here that Mysterio Zone is pimping out for me right now. But I'm trying to decide what other games I want to put on there. I'm not going to go nuts and have every single MAME game on there, because, you know, I already have the MK1 MAME inside, but it would be nice. And the other thing about this kit is nice is that this whole machine is pretty portable. You know, once you get everything set up in here and screwed down and affixed in here, you can pretty much take it on a trip, or you can move it from room to room. It's a lot easier than, you know, wheeling around one of these 450-pound cabinets with all this other stuff in it. It just makes it a lot easier and a lot easier accessible. And you know, if you ever want to take it apart, you could very easily just take it apart with these cam bolts. So, you know, that's where I'm at right now with this kit. So once I get done with the MK1 MAME from my coworker and get this cabinet out of here, which I'm guessing is going to be fairly soon, because I ordered up the art, all the joysticks and all the buttons today. Usually takes 3 or 4 days to get here. I'm going to install all that stuff and make sure it's all working properly, but I'll get cracking on this. So kind of a what's to come video for this one here, but I'm pretty excited about it, because when I originally saw Big Pete's design, I thought, wow, I really wanted to build one of those a while back, and almost did it, but I wanted to do it with all art. And I think, you know, he just had a marquee made from MK2, which is cool. But I wanted to do a complete, you know, dedicated MK3 cabinet. So that's where we are right now. You can see the size of it is pretty cool. And I'll stop here and make part 2 in probably a couple weeks. But just a little bit of what's to come. We'll see you next time.